Hello, welcome to the second phase of the part two because I could not get all the things done in the first one. So we'll start with the project definition and let me go to slideshow. So as we were talking about, that is a project it's a progressively elaborated, right? So as we go along the timeline, it becomes more realistic. The project has, five phases: the initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, control, and the closing. So the initiation, let me change the mouse pointer as a pen. So the initiation is where project gets initiated. We have interaction with the clients or the business. Then it is being planned, right? So we do the planning. The execution happens after the planning, and over this whole period of initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control happens on the project just to make sure that it's being worked as planned. And after that, we move the changes to production. The closing of the project happens because every project has a start and end date, and it has to be closed. And these five phases, they are actually the process groups that the PM or the project manager has to follow to make sure that it's following the PMI, because this is based on the PMI guideline. The next one is the project team and phases. Here we know that we have the IT PMO, we have the sponsor is somebody is who is paying for the project. Within the sponsor, you have the business stakeholder, and you also have the business user, right? And from the project team perspective, this is where the project team starts. So we have the project manager, who will manage the project. We also have the solution architect, who is primarily responsible for delivering the application. Within that solution architect, he leads the functional leads, technical leads, and also he has a data load team. The data load, as I said, it varies. We may or may not have it, and the data load team it tries to convert the data from the legacy application to the new application that we're trying to launch. From the functional lead, we have logistics, finance, and HR. So they are experts on those domains as well as the application, how it should run. Then we have the technical leads, will lead the application programmers and the database. And there are five phases of a project, right? We have the initiation planning, we have the blueprint, where we define how the application is going to work, and we design the system. Then we have the realization phase, where we do the coding and testing. Then we do the final preparation or go live preparation, where we do the user acceptance test. And the user acceptance test is done by the business users, right, who actually said this is how the application should function and this is what the application should address. And that's where they're gonna come, they'll do the unit test, the user acceptance test, and they will say whether the application is good or bad or it needs some modification. And once that part is completed, the user provides the sign off saying, application is good, it can be used. Then the project team migrate the changes to production. And then we have the go live and the support phase that comes in. Next is the project team engagement in different phases, or who is going to work. So on the initiation and planning phase, you have the project manager, business owner, and the solution architect. They work together to understand what's needed. And on the blueprint, the next phase, right, we have the PM, the solution architect, with the functional leads, technical leads, infrastructure leads. they all come together and do a detailed design and requirement analysis, and they get the blueprint of the application on the systems is going to run. So when the blueprint is done, user agrees to the blueprint, it comes to the realization where we do the coding. So we have the application developers come in, infrastructure developers come in, and the PM, solution architect, and leads, they work with the team to make sure that the system that is being developed that meets the blueprint of the customer. Once the realization is done that we did the coding and testing, we move the codes to the quality for or the business simulation box, where we take the final preparation, where the users come in, they do the UAT, and leads and the PM, they help them out. And once that UAT or the user acceptance test is complete, we move the changes to production. And for 2 to 4 weeks, the project team will support the application to make sure that it meets the business needs. Any issue that's encountered, it will be fixed. So we have the issue resolution, we have the business user interaction, and we also have the support transition, because the project team is for a given time, and the application that we're launching, it has to be supported by the support team. So there has to be a support transition that happens in the production, and it actually initiates as this final preparation phase, where the project team will tell the support team, hey, these are the applications and this is how it works, and you have to support that. And this is where the project team actually trains the support team in production to make sure that they can support the application. And the systems where the project team will work, because we have different phases, right? So 5 phases: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the realization is where we do the coding in the system. So on the realization, you have two different boxes. One is the development box, and the other one is a quality box. The way to think of these boxes, you can think of that they are all different systems, or different servers, you might call it. So on the development, the developers do the coding and testing, and after the coding and testing is done, they move the changes, the objects, to the quality, where the business leads or the business analysts, they will come and test the application to make sure that it's working. If it is not, then they have to give the feedback to the developers. They'll fix it. It will come back to quality again. So this is iteration that happens, but it should not happen often. It should happen once or twice, but there should not be a lot of fixes that need to happen. So once, and in this process from development to quality, we have to do the design and test documents to make sure that what we tested, they're documented. So in the future, we can always come back and look into this document to make sure that tests were done the way it should have been. And once it passes the quality, we're going to move the code to business simulation, where the user acceptance test happens. And when the user acceptance test happens and the user is good with the application, it will move to a production, right? And any issue that the user finds in the business simulation, right, it has to go back to the development again, right? From the development, it comes back to QA, right? And from the QA, it again comes back to business sim. So it's an iteration process, but as I said, there should not be more fixes. When there are more fixes, that tells that we did not do or the development was not done right. And in production, when it goes, and we also need to have an issue resolution, because the team will support the production for 2 to 4 weeks. So we need to make sure that all the issues are resolved. And also one thing in business simulation, that there will be user documents, and that how they are going to run the application, and also support documents, because the support team who is going to take over after 2 to 4 weeks, they have to know what are the things they have to support. Okay. Okay, next we'll talk about support. So we're thinking that we did launch the application into production, and the support has to support this application. And for the support procedure or the support landscape, we'll talk about the ITIL, the process. And usually for any company, they will have a service desk, because anything that happens within the support or the application, somebody has to be send a note to, right? And this service desk, they actually cater different types of uh, 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 process. One is called like incident management. Something happens, they create a ticket. Then they have the problem management. For example, if something is a problem with the system, so they will track it differently. And there is a change management, that if any incident happens that needs a system change, for example a change in the coding, so they will follow the change management process. And if there is a new application that is being installed, so there will be configuration management, and there is also release management. So these are five different aspects of the service desk. From the service delivery perspective, this is mainly for the managers, delivery managers. So we're going to have service level management agreement, then availability management, that how systems are available, the capacity based on the infrastructure and the users load or the application load, then IT service continuity management, uh, for example enhancements and how we can make sure that things are flowing as it should. Then of course the financial for IT services. So these are for so this particular part, the service delivery, is for the delivery manager, and this is mainly led by the delivery manager, but it is being worked with different levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. More on service management levels. So there is three different levels, right? The level 1, level 2, level 3. And these levels, you can see that first level is a service desk, right? So this is, you need the lower skill set, right? And usually they work with phone, email, to the communication with the business users. And level 2, they will take care of the change request or the incident, any resolution they need to provide, any service request, the know-how, and the problem management. So these four areas are being taken care of by the level 2. And level 3, these are more like IT architects role. So these are IT experts and software delivery. So as you can see that the higher the level of the resources, the more experience and the skill set that they need to have. And from the configuration management, right, what configuration management talks about is the systems that we're supporting. For example, if we have multiple applications, let's say there is a sales application, there is a purchasing applications, there is a production applications, and the servers that those applications are being run, the databases. So all those things becomes the configuration of the IT landscape, right? So those are the configuration management, and all those five groups like request fulfillment, incident management, problem management, change management, and release management. Those five groups rest on this configuration management. So we have the levels of services or the skill set who works on different applications, or you can call different roots of issues, and they reside on the configuration or the IT landscape that the applications are being hosted on. This is the last slide, I believe. So from the service management, the change process. So I'll talk about two levels, level 1 and level 2, because level 3 is more on the architect role, and you can think of that in respect to the solution architect role. So for the level one, you have the incidents that is being taken care of, right? What incidents we have and how we're going to log into the system. And for the level two, this incident, it can be a know-how, it can be a break fix, it can be an enhancement. So depending on the categorization, uh, the level two, if it is a break fix, they design and code, they go through the change process, they do production migration, then they do a validation. If it is enhancement, right? For example, application is there, they want to add a new functionality to that application, and if it is small, then it becomes as enhancement. And for every enhancement, there is a money tied to it because you need a budget. So there is approval process. Then we're going to design and code. There will be change process to production, production migration, and validation. And all those steps that happen, they reside on the IT configuration management, which is that IT landscape that is being supported by the support team. So with that, I will conclude the projects and support overview, how it is being done in a more matured organization. And ABAS IT, as a part of ABAS, we will tie to the PMI, project management methodologies, and ITIL service delivery. So thanks. I hope you enjoyed this, and there'll be some more sessions depending on your role in the company. So hope see you in the next sessions. Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.